Mr. Vineet Goenka, sir, Secretary of Center and Knowledge Sovereignty, and Secretary of Board for MMGEIS, Master, Mentor, Geo Enabling Indian Scholar. We at Amity Noida extend a warm welcome to you, sir.
To begin this auspicious program, may I request our honored guests to kindly proceed for the lighting of the lamp, symbolizing knowledge, wisdom, and enlightenment.
Thank you, everyone.
It is my pleasure to invite our dynamic and awe-inspiring Director Principal, Mrs. Renu Singh Ma'am, to address the gathering and formally welcome our distinguished guests.
Thank you very much, children. Very good morning to the August gathering. I, on behalf of Amity Noida, extend a hearty welcome and gratitude to our guiding force, respected Chairperson, Amity Group of Schools and RBEF, former Chairman of ISRO and member of Space Commission, respected Shri A.S. Kiran Kumar ji, Honorable Chancellor, President, Sir Dr. Ashok Chauhan, our chairperson. Sir, they are all online and they'll be joining us soon. So I want to welcome all of you. It's my proud privilege on behalf of Amity International School, Noida, to extend a very warm welcome to you to this special interaction, very, very special interactive session. Today is a truly inspiring day for our school, as we have honor of hosting Shri A.S. Kiran Kumar, former chairman of ISRO and member of Space Commission. I can't even believe that he's there with us today, sir. We are very, very grateful. And we want to really thank our respected chairperson, ma'am, for giving us this platform where we can interact with ISRO chairman. Thank you, chairperson, ma'am, again and again for giving this opportunity. Thank you very much, sir. Yeah. Highly distinguished, Shri A.S. Kiran Kumar's illustrious career is unmatched. Sir's 4 decades journey at ISRO, including leadership as Director of Space Application Center and Chairman from 2015 to 2018, has been monumental. He spearheaded electro-optical imaging sensors for over 50 satellites, from Bhaskara to advanced missions like Chandrayaan-1 and Mars orbital Mangalyaan. His innovation in Earth observation, communication, navigation, and indigenous launch vehicles have transformed India's space ecosystem, earning him the Padma Shri and international acclaim, including as chair of the Committee on Earth Observation Satellites. Honorable Founder President, Sir, Dr. Ashok K. Chauhan and Chairperson, ma'am, believe that science and scientific knowledge greatly influence the progress of a nation and the quality of life of its citizen. It is with this perspective that Amity's Children's Science Foundation was launched in the year 2011, with the aim to nurture scientific temper among students. And respected Chairperson, ma'am, has a pivotal role in infusing the zest of inquiry and science in the young learners. Sir, I was just talking to you and I was telling you that in my career of teaching, I've seen in other schools, science is getting down. Like children are more interested for commerce and humanities. But in Amity, for example, in class 11th, if we have got 7 or 8 sections, means 7 into 40. In science, we have got 3 in commerce and 1 in humanities. So that is only because our respected chairperson is totally involved in promoting science activity, all because they believe that the nation will grow if each and every child will work on this. So at Amity, under Chairperson ma'am's guidance and navigation, we have been uh, at the forefront of dynamic progress and innovation. Several platforms like Vasudha, Bazinga, in which Sir is also involved. Lalit Mittal Sir is guiding us. He's the head of Science Foundation Amity Group. So I'm very, very grateful that you are the one, and all the team of Sir, your team is here to motivate our students. We have National Science Exhibition. There are a number of science projects we have got, which I'm sure children are going to talk about. In Amity, science is the way of life, I wanted to say. And we have got plethora of opportunities from Amitians through STEAM, science, technology, engineering, art, and mathematics. Amity Children's Science Foundation is one such initiative under whose umbrella seeds of innovations are sown. Ideas are incubated and scientific discoveries are harnessed. We have incubation center also, which Lalit sir will tell in Amity University. So we get a lot of support, sir. We have pre-nursery to PhD level. After class 12, they get all the help from Amity University, because Amity University is very well equipped. Any help we need, any equipment we need, anything we need, we can go to Amity University, and they are always very helpful. And I think it's because of that our children have been going to Wharton for commerce symposium, commerce competition, University of Pennsylvania, because we get help from Amity University. So right from the beginning till that, we are honored to have your presence, children, from various amities, and I'm sure it's going to be highly fruitful. Today's interaction, you are going to remember throughout your life. We will take opportunity to share few significant milestones earned by our students in the field of science. Yes, I can. Suhani Chauhan, a student of class 11, Amity International School, New Delhi, Bush Vihar, has been awarded with Pradhan Mantri Rashtriya Bal Puraskar for her path-breaking innovation. So app, she has prepared an agri-vehicle for small farmers. We also, class 12, Sanjana Chauhan is selected as one of the distinguished recipient of the Young Changemaker Award 2025, an achievement secured from among 1,000 of exceptional students' applications. Anushka Manoj, a class 12 student of our school, is the winner of grand prize at IRIS National Fair. IRIS, you all know, 2025. Vidushi Mathur of class 10 has won the award of Best Presentation in Artificial Intelligence at the Oxford Academic Global Summit for Young Leaders, Dubai. NASA, I was telling you, winners at the international level 4 times. 4 times they were the world winners. And they got the opportunity. Sir, I always tell my children that money cannot take you to Florida on that particular platform which school is giving you. Your parents cannot because your school is giving you that facility and you have reached. Wharton Global High School Investment Competition, Amity Noida has been the global final 6 times in last 9 years. That is a very difficult competition of 1 year. It's a matter of great pride that the patent project of one of our class 12 students, Sanjana Chauhan, titled EcoBreathe, an innovative air purifier, was selected by ATL, Niti Ayog. Shomita Sarkar of class 12 in Amity International School, Noida, has secured first position in Delhi NCR Brain B Neurosciences quiz, which was held at DPS Vasant Kuch. Very, very important competition. So, Akshas Rastogi has brought laurels to the school by securing national rank 3 in National Science Assessment for Scientific Temperament and Aptitude. Sir, our chairperson has introduced number of science-related program. Our children, right from class 6, now she has started from class 4, we have got Sin Connect program. Sin Connect, they have got all activities, all extracurricular, co-curricular, but along with that, they give more emphasis to science and maths. Because ma'am feels that if children are good in maths, that fear of maths should not be there. They can do anything. This is what life is. So we give a lot of emphasis on maths. There are a number of activities which we will be able to tell you in short duration. I think children will be able to tell you. So I'm very, very grateful, sir, for you to be with us. Thank you so much, the whole team. And we are very, very grateful that children are going to get so much of benefit. So I want to thank Chairperson once again for giving us this platform, for giving us this opportunity so that our children get benefit. Thank you, sir. We'd like to welcome all. Yes, no, sir. No. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for taking this trouble, for bringing chairman to our school. Thank you so much. Thank you. We welcome, ma'am. The pot will reach your car also. Thank you, ma'am, and we'll keep asking you for your guidance because our children are really interested in science and technology. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for sparing your valuable time to be with us. Thank you. Sir. Thank you. Thank you so much. Radha, one pot for Lalitji also. Thank you, Lalitji, for organizing this wonderful, wonderful event for all of us. We want gathering of at least 5 to 6,000, sir, when things are okay, because government has introduced Grab 4 and we are all on hybrid mode, so but we'll love to have you, sir. Thank you. Thank you. Come, Ji.
Thank you, ma'am, for your kind words.
We now eagerly look forward to the address by our esteemed guest, whose words will surely motivate and enlighten us all.
May I request all the dignitaries to please come up on the stage? Ma'am, sir, would you like to? All right. Sure, ma'am, sure. Thank you.
Wherever you come. Okay, okay.
Good morning to all of you. Good morning. Good morning. No, you can be seated, no problem. I just want to hear good morning from you. Thank you very much for this opportunity to be with you and share some of the activities what India is doing in space, and also showcase to you what MMGIS wants to do. Probably you are all very familiar that humanity for the first time got an opportunity to go beyond Earth. Anybody wants to tell what it was, what the activity or the event was? Humanity for the first time got an opportunity to do something beyond Earth. Some object went into space, sent by Russia. Sputnik, yeah. Which year was that? 1957, right? And 1957 was just 10 years into India's independence. We got our independence in 1947, right? And we were actually ruled by others for a long time, hundreds of years. And after that, when we got our independence, just 10 years into that, what would have been the situation in the country? The governments and those who are in power are only trying to find out how we can provide food, shelter, and education to its citizens. That's the real problem at that time, right? So you can imagine at that time, if somebody were to tell the government that we want to do some activity in space, do you think it would have been welcome? What do you think? Okay. So we had a great visionary scientist, Dr. Vikram Sarabhai. What he did, he said, by going to space, by reaching a height of 36,000 kilometers, you can put a satellite there, which take exactly 24 hours to go around Earth. And Earth also rotates once in 24 hours. So because of this, what happens? That satellite which is going around Earth looks stationary to you because your speed of rotation is same as the satellite's speed of rotation. Many of you, when you have traveled on trains, you will see an adjacent train going at the same speed appear stationary to you. Isn't it relative velocity? And what is the use of such a satellite? You can look at 1/3 of the Earth from that satellite, and you can do what is called line of sight communication. See, today we are all familiar. How do we see our TV program? A small rooftop antenna, quarter-meter antenna is there on the rooftop. A small set-top box is there. Through that, we see TV program. You imagine in the 70s, such a situation would have been there? No, what Dr. Sarabhai did was, he convinced Americans that one of the most advanced technology satellites they were building, called ATSF, it was borrowed because, as I said, if you look at a satellite from Earth, a geostationary satellite looks stationary. America is exactly on the opposite side of Earth. If America can see the satellite, can India see from here? So what was done? That satellite was moved over to the Indian longitude, and using that satellite, India did an experiment called SITE, Satellite Instructional Television Experiment, exactly 50 years ago, 1975. For 1 year, an experiment was done where what we are familiar today of seeing television, such a program was done in 2,400 remote villages of our country. And at that time, only 4 metros had the privilege of seeing television. And using this, the government was convinced that if in India we had to quickly bring in communication and broadcasting, the way to do it is by satellites or space technology. What was the alternative that was possible at that time? Every 1 kilometer, you put a microwave tower, and India is 3.25 million square kilometers. Now you can imagine how many towers are needed if you want to cover the entire country, and how much of time it would have taken to reach all the places. Whereas with one satellite, you can cover the entire India by putting appropriate towers, ground receiving towers, and through television, you can reach them. Similarly, another very important aspect that happens is, because you are looking at over India constantly, you can take cloud pictures every hour. Then by looking at the change in the position of the cloud in the picture, you can find out the cloud velocity and wind velocity. So you can monitor temperature, pressure, other parameters. And using that, you can do weather prediction. So, in India, in the earlier era, super cyclones which hits the coast results in tens of thousands of people losing their life. But now with the orbiting satellites, you can take these pictures and tell exactly where a cyclone will come. And by doing that, you are able to actually evacuate the people in that region and save their lives. So today what happens is, whenever a super cyclone comes, the information goes to the disaster relief agency, and they are able to evacuate people and save their lives. That's how in the last decade or so, the number of deaths during super cyclone, which used to be in 15 to 20,000 in the earlier times, has reduced to single digit numbers. And you make use of these orbiting satellites for one other very interesting activity. When Dr. Sarabhai had to conduct these experiments of launching rockets way back in 1963 in Tumba, he had to convince the fishermen in the beach to tell them, you allow us to conduct these experiments, then one day the country will benefit. So what he promised became a reality, because from 1999 onwards, what we were able to do is look at the color of the ocean from orbiting satellites. Through that, identify the chlorophyll, and from chlorophyll, the food chain of the fish, and then tell where in the ocean, if you go, you are assured of a fish catch. Today, with our own navigation satellite, we have a small battery-operated gadget which can be fitted into the boat of the fisherman, and a mobile in his hands communicates with these gadgets and shows in a video compass mode where he has to go for catching the fish. Not only that, in the coming days, if weather vagaries are going to be unbearable, or sea state roughness is going to prevent him from staying there safely, or many times you would have read in the papers, our neighboring countries capture the fishermen because they get into their international waters. What this gadget does is, mobile does. Mobile obviously doesn't have any connectivity to the terrestrial tower, because once you go a few hundreds of meters away from tower, no communication is possible. But this gadgets communicates with his mobile and gives him in his mother tongue these alerts. So now you can see what is happening. A person who does not know reading or writing is making use of his livelihood activity by the most advanced technology of a rocket, putting a satellite into orbit, and with its application giving information. So even a person who does not know reading or writing is benefiting from space technology. So you look at this, what happened in the right from the early times. India is the only country which started space program for non-military activities. Everybody else started space program for military applications. In fact, it was the intense competition between America and Russia, which resulted in the Russians initially going ahead, putting the first Sputnik, first dog, first man, first woman in space. And Americans felt, how can Russia do all this and we are left behind? So what did they do? They put man on the moon by 1969. So that's how things were going on. But in India, we had visionary scientists who was looking at how a country which got independence recently, if it has to grow, it has to make use of space and means science and technology of going to space. Today you are all familiar, this space technology is used not only for these activities but also for crop monitoring. And also we have such friendly neighbors, so you need to collect more information about what is happening around you, so you make use of space technology for that also. So in a way, what ISRO did is step by step, and obviously, unlike today, 50 to 60 years back, information access was very limited. You have to read only from journals and books. And not only that, because it's a dual use technology, nobody shares information with you. So you had to build all this on your own. So what India did is started developing space technology step by step. And today you are familiar that we have done certain things which others have not done. One of the examples, if you look at, in 2008, when India did its Chandrayaan 1 program, by that time, man had already landed on the moon. A large number of probes had touched the surface of the moon also. But still, what is the credit that this first satellite, Chandrayaan 1, got? It is this Chandrayaan 1 satellite which demonstrated presence of water molecules on moon, and then possibly how the process of water molecule formation happens was shown by Chandrayaan 1. So it is in fact that particular activity which brought back the interest of the world again on moon. And today you see so much intense competition of going to moon, touching down on the surface. And then our Chandrayaan 3 also landed Vikram lander and Pragyan rover in a place nobody else had reached earlier. Of course, our Chandrayaan 2 we were attempting to do, but then whenever you are attempting to do something beyond your current capability, you can be assured of failure, not assured of success, because you all realize that if you want to do something different and you want to be certain that what you are doing is going to work, you will be limited. You will not go beyond your current capabilities. You have to remain within that to achieve 100% success. It is only when you attempt to do something beyond your current skill and knowledge that you can go to newer frontiers and you can go ahead. So obviously, if you remain within your current knowledge and skill, you are not likely to go beyond what others have done. And that's how, when we were attempting to do our Chandrayaan landing, we were pushing ourselves beyond our limits. And then we entered a failure zone. But then, as you have already heard, probably read also what Kalam said, failure is first attempt in learning. So that means you should never be afraid of failure. And also, it is only when you try to do something beyond your current knowledge and skill, you can trade new path, and you can be path breakers and then leaders. And as was pointed out by Madam, already you see Amity International or Amity schools are already paying so much of attention that you are making already headways, you are reaching out beyond India, you are going to other places and showcasing that you are able to lead others. And coming back to what India did, one was Chandrayaan 1, 2, and 3. Similarly, in Mars mission, for the first time, a nation was able to put in its very first attempt a satellite around Mars. If you are to appreciate the difficulty of this satellite was launched in 2013, November 5th from Sriharikota. What was the task cut out for this satellite? It is supposed to travel a distance of 600 million kilometers over 10 months. And at the end of that journey, you imagine in space a cube of 50 kilometers. So this satellite had to be inside that cube on a specific day and time to the second. 2014, September 24, morning 7:30 a.m. At that second, this satellite should have been inside that cube. If it were not there, it would not have been possible for us to make it go around Mars. And then what this many times probably you would have seen on a winter morning, you'd start your car or a scooter, it doesn't start. So here, after 9 months of journey, after shutting down, the engine had to be restarted. So there were many, and even some of you are aware, sunlight falling on a surface produces what is called radiation pressure, and that pushes things. Like you have boats sailing in the winds in the ocean, solar sail, sunlight falling on a surface can give a small push. That sunlight falling on the satellite itself could have taken it beyond this 50-kilometer cube, hundreds of thousands of kilometers over 10-month period. That means not only you should control it, you should monitor. So all this was done. And today, what India is trying to do is, you need to be among the equals, among the top. See, today, after starting from a very low position in economic strength at the time of independence, we have reached the fourth largest economy. And by 2047, what is our aim? Where do we want to go? Where do we want to go by 2047? We are the currently fourth largest economy. Where should we be? First largest. Very good. And if that has to happen, who has to make it happen? Will somebody come from America, Russia, and make India grow? What do you think? They will do us? They will do for us? So then who should do it? Tell with force, who should do it? We should do it, right? So if we have to do it, what is it that we need? We need to learn. We need to acquire knowledge. We need to acquire skills. And if you look at here, one of the key things is every human being has a fantastic capability, such an enormous potential. In a way, I can say we are all highly evolved robots. Anybody wants to agree with this statement? We are all robots. Those who agree, raise your hand. Those who do not agree, raise your hand. There are still a lot of people who neither agree nor disagree. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I'll try to give you some examples and see where we stand, okay? See, today, suppose I want to describe what is a robot. So what we will do, we will build a system for performing some function. For doing that in that machine, we will build some input taking mechanism so that you can give some inputs to it. And then it will have some actuators using which it will do a job. There will be one controller and then one memory where we will store all instructions. The controller can take those instructions and pass it on to the actuators for performing the task. Suppose, probably you all have heard of a waiter robot. You go and sit in a restaurant, the robot comes to you, ask you question, aapko kya chahiye? I want vada, dosa, paratha, something you'll tell. Then that robot will go to a service counter, depending on what you have asked, pick up that item, come back and give you. Now you see what the robot did. When you asked the something, it took that data, decided which counter to go, went there, and so the controller is able to take the inputs and then take inputs from the memory and do the action. And many times when you design your robots, obviously there'll be some limitation. Let's say the robot is carrying that tray. That tray weight is about 5 kilograms, let's say. Now you have designed a robot for 5 kilograms, but the robot itself does not know what it is doing. That particular object weight is 5 kilograms or more. So it tries to do that. What will happen if it is too heavy? Robot is trying to lift an object which is much beyond its design capability. What do you think will happen? One is it won't be able to lift. That is okay. But beyond that, it might damage itself, right? So it might break its arm. So as a designer, you don't want such a thing to happen. So you will think, somehow I should make the robot realize what it is doing is within its design limit. So you will write some more instructions, some more capability. You write in another memory. Now this memory has instructions which will help the robot preserve itself, self-sustenance. When it is trying to do something beyond its design limit, it will stay free and say, okay, I cannot do this. I'll not hibernate like that. So that means now my robot has 5 items. Input elements, sensors, actuators for doing work, one controller, one memory for instructions for doing external activity, another memory for self-preservation, self-protection, and sustenance. Now, suppose I ask you a question. Do you think you have all these 5 elements within you? Can you identify? Anybody wants to take a chance and explain what are these 5 elements in humans? कोई बता सकता है? What is the method by which we take inputs? What is our ability to understand the world?
Is my voice clear? Yeah, so first to take sensory inputs, you have your sense organs, your
How many
eyes.
sense organs we have?
We have 5 sense organs.
Very
main.
good.
And then for actuators, well, those are modeled after our own limbs. So your hands and legs and other physical components, such as your joints.
How many actuators you have? Can you tell?
Well, actually,
like you said, sensors. We have 5 sensors. Can you think of how many are there in terms of actuators?
Actuators, I mean, you kind of have around 206 in a regular human.
No. Actually, primary are only 5.
Yeah.
5 Gnanendriyas and 5 Karmendriyas.
Hmm.
Okay, we will come to that. You go ahead. What other things now?
Yeah, so
remaining 3, can you identify?
Yes. So first you have your control.
Yeah.
You first have your controller. So
Yeah,
the
there is a
controller
controller.
would be your brain, and in the brain there are specific
Yeah, we
portions.
don't have to get into all details. Brain plus something more. All right.
Yeah.
Third is over. Remaining 2.
Then for your memory,
instructions for all external activity.
extra instruction. So memory to store all your instructions is also in the brain, and
Need not be in the brain only.
yeah, it's also like in the
That's why don't worry about that. So definitely there is one memory where your system starts storing instructions which it uses for doing activity, external activity. Suppose right now you are speaking, right? You are speaking, no?
Yeah.
How do you speak? You have an organ for speaking?
Yeah, we have a
So
mouth.
that is the third of the Karmendriyas. Anyway, remaining 2, I'll leave it as homework for you.
Okay.
In general, find out what are the other 2 actuators by which we as humans do our external action. So one memory we are storing by virtue of our own experience. Now there was one other which contained some instruction for self-preservation, self-protection, sustenance. You can sit down, I'll continue.
Yeah.
Sit down, no. So you can see,
Thank you, sir.
all of us entered this world as a child. We entered this world with these basically sensors. Your sensors was there. There was a controller, actuator. So what happened? If I was in Karnataka, I would have learned Kannada. If I were in Germany, I would have learned German. If I was in North India, I would learn Hindi. Like that, we learn languages. Now, can you think of why that language becomes your mother tongue? You are a robotic system with sensors, and there is a controller which is taking all these inputs. Simply, you are hearing some sound at that time, what is going on around you. So your controller now has to mimic that. So one of the things we can say is your controller's job is mimic what is happening around you and evolve yourself. So it is simply hearing sound and it is seeing what people are doing when that sound comes. Then it is generating its own instructions for speaking by itself. So all this information it keeps storing, and step by step it starts learning. Same way, can you think of child, how it walks, how it learns things? So it is all generating its own commands and storing in one memory. And it is that memory which keeps building up. Even now, as we are speaking, you are listening and storing that information. So that's how it goes on. Now, there is another memory we talked about, which is actually helping us perform certain safety, self-preservation, self-protection. So if inside the body also there are a lot of mechanisms which are operating, how did the controller give instructions to that? Where did he get those instructions from? Can we say it came by the very process of birth itself, that there is some hereditary instruction set which is available? That is the other memory. So if you think of these 5 elements as the basic components of a human system, there, whatever brain we are talking about is the asli intelligence which you are carrying. Today, what humans are trying to do, very initial period, they tried to survive in this world. Was survival easy? Early humans, if you think of what you have read, they were facing much bigger animals around them, right? Could they survive easily? They did not have enough strength to fight those animals. So at that time, what do you think they did? How did they manage? You want to tell? Go ahead. Yeah. Yeah, yourself. Go ahead. Go ahead. Haath se, by your hand, you could not do. So what did you try to do?
Yes, sir. Sir, they hide it from animals that would eat them.
Yeah, correct. First hiding, but that you cannot do for too long.
Sir, they made some weapons.
Correct. Now you tell what kind of weapons they started with.
Ma'am, sir, they made stone weapons.
Correct. Now, stone itself, if you see, why? Because while walking, somebody would have fallen. When they fall against soft objects, it's quite comfortable. But if they fall against solid objects, it'll pain. You
Yes,
fall
sir.
against thorn, it'll even bleed.
Yes,
Correct?
sir.
So what they did, looking around in nature, they started seeing how they can enhance their actuators, which is limited. So they took the stone and made it sharper. Then they took a stick, started fighting, converted that stick into bow and arrow. Today you are converting, making weapons, etc., etc.
Yes,
So by
sir.
what you could not do with your hand, you started using tools, which is there in nature.
Yes, sir.
Similarly, how do you think we learned to build aircrafts?
Sir, by
What inspiration we got?
from the old people,
No, birds flying.
birds.
So now similarly, how you can sit down, no problem. You can sit down, no problem. So we can walk in an hour about few kilometers. So what did humans do? They saw around them animals which move much faster. So they domesticated and started riding them. So they could cover much larger distances. So today, when you want to see far away objects, you build what instrument? To see objects far away. Telescope. You want to see very minute things. Microscope. So that means constantly what humans are doing, enhancing the limitations of both the sensors they have and the actuators they have. They're going. So today, how many machines are there which do perform jobs of tens of even hundreds of people. Mechanical machines are there. Similarly, after that, what they thought, we need to actually mimic the intellectual capability. So today, what are we doing? What are we building today? AI. Now, can you tell AI is mimicking whom or what? Whereas earlier, humans were trying to mimic what is happening in nature and build gadgets and build machines. Now, you are trying to build in that machine an intelligence which is mimicking what? Go ahead and tell. Yeah, that means all of you are carrying asli intelligence, which is being attempted to be realized in outside as artificial intelligence. So this is how the journey is. So all that I wanted to tell is, each one of us enter this world with a tremendous potential. There is a controller which has a design role which says, observe nature, mimic what is happening around you, and evolve yourself. And then it also has an ability to learn things. Probably this is very familiar to all of you. Before doing, all of you, I'm sure, have learned cycling. Yes or no? How many of you have not learned cycling? Oh, only one. Okay. All right. Maybe my example will not go well here. Doesn't matter. Then what other example can I take? Let's see. Maybe some game you played, sports. All of you have learned some sports, music. So before you learned an activity, it was difficult. But then by keeping on doing practice, you made it almost like a second nature. So today, probably if I were to tell you that there is a system called autopilot, how many of you have heard of this term autopilot? Yeah, quite a lot of you have heard. Good. So what is an autopilot? There is an aircraft. You are sitting in the aircraft. Aircraft goes from place A to place B. Pilot is simply sitting. He is not doing anything. Still, the aircraft can go from one place to another place by this mechanism of autopilot. Now, what is this autopilot? It's a system which takes inputs. Aircraft also has sensors, which tells at what height it is going, at what speed it is going. Many information it takes. It has its sensors. It has its actuators, which are engine, rudder, then flaps, etc. Then there is a controller and a program which is called an autopilot program written and stored in that. Using that, plane can go from place A to place B with pilot not doing anything. Similarly, each one of us, once we have learned something and made it a practice, we can do that activity without too much of an effort, because our system has converted this into an autopilot mode of action. So if you think like that, many times you will be able to do certain things simply by repetitive practice, etc. So now, coming back to what I was trying to tell, each human being has a fantastic capability. There is an asli intelligence which is operating with a design role which says, mimic what is happening around and evolve yourself. But normally what happens, I'm sure you have experienced this, you are asking brilliant questions when you are very young. Your parents and people around you even appreciated, saying, hey, look how my grandson or son is asking such. Whoever comes to our house, he will tell, this child is so brilliant, is asking such questions. Very soon, what happened? The questions you asked, we did not have answers to give, because you have a very curious mind. You are trying to look around and seeing what is happening in nature. The questions still we had answer to your questions, we appreciated you. The moment you started asking questions for which I did not have the answer, I said, you are a stupid fellow, keep quiet. You don't know anything. I started suppressing you. Why? Because your curiosity was leading to questions which could not be answered by people around you. So they started in some way suppressing. If that became too much, you realized Why all this headache? Let me not ask questions. You started suppressing your curiosity. This is the problem. Otherwise, if you look at every individual has a scientist in it, science is intrinsic to humans. Is there any activity a human being does which does not require special knowledge and special skill? Acquiring that special knowledge is science, and building the tool is technology. So drawing from Rangoli to kitchen, anything we do requires special knowledge, special skills, etc. So that means there is a tremendous opportunity. Every one of you are capable of doing fantastic things. It is only what you decide not to do limits you. One is, if you want to achieve something, you have to go beyond your current level of skill and capability. Then only you can do something different. And then world is all the time moving by taking cue from nature. So in the world today, there is so much more that still to be understood and done. It's insufficient for any number of people to be more and more innovative and doing that. So how do we go about doing that? By not suppressing our curiosity in our desire to be curious. You can take example of Sir C.V. Raman or even Marie Curie. They retained their questions which they could not get answer from others. So they gave the answers to the world. So similarly, if there is some question in your mind for which you are not getting answer from others, you can be the answer provider. And if that happens, then everybody will recognize you. So I can go on and on and on. I'll stop here. And if you have any questions, I'll be more than happy. But just a couple of points. What we are also trying to do in this process of MMGAIS, if you look at, what is a human being trying to do? One is we are trying to comprehend how this whole system works. See, for example, your controller precisely knows how to move your hand to what place, so it knows its location. That means similarly, it has a map within itself of knowing what to do, what action to take. So if you have to navigate in this world, you need to know places, how to reach there. So today's technology, which you are using, a small mobile in your hands, is actually doing a lot of things showcasing to you. Earlier, for example, if you're going to, somebody were to ask you, you invited somebody to your house and he asks you, can you tell me how can I reach your house? Today you will say, I'll give you my location, you will come. But then how did it happen? The whole process of understanding what facility that is there in terms of geospatial or in terms of reading maps, understanding the world, what Earth's position is in the universe, all of that requires location, understanding that. The whole process of MMGIS is to enable you to learn from what kind of technology is being used. But if you do not understand the intricacy of that, can you create new solutions to the world tomorrow? If you are only the user of a gadget, will you be able to overcome the gadget's limitation and build a new thing? So that's what MMGS is all about. Understanding your own self and also understanding the world. And in understanding this world, what tools exist today and how to build better tools for tomorrow. That's the challenge. Because in the human desire to build things, we have created enough havoc in this world. Today, you already see how much of pollution problem is there in Delhi or nature. In the process of developing rapidly, we create more problems than we solve. So all of you have a task of solving the problems we have created before you. So if you want to do that, you have to learn how to make use of yourself, understand yourself, and move ahead. This awareness is the key. And MMGAS also is one such attempt to bring more awareness to you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for inspiring thoughts. It has indeed been a truly enriching session.
And now, Our young, curious minds are waiting to interact with you, sir. We would request you to take their questions and guide them for the future.
Any questions, children, that you would like to address to sir? Yes, please make the most of this opportunity.
Good morning, sir. Sir, I'm Mayank Menon from Amity International School, Pushpiyar. Sir, I myself am a student who is really interested in astrophysics and space science. Sir, so what skills do I start building from this age to get into an organization like ISRO or NASA or the new private companies?
Yeah, astronomy and astrophysics is, of course, one of the very natural things because in the night sky, when you see the universe, you want to understand, etc., etc. See, today, few things that are possible is, see, we have many observatories in India, which are, for example, in Hanle, Leh Ladakh, or Nainital, or even in Ooty, Bangalore. All these organizations, they run some programs where you can get involved. They're all available through online activities also. One is that. And the other thing is gradually there are many engineering and non science institutions which are providing astronomy, astrophysics, astrochemistry as courses. And beyond that also, if you want to go, even in space, there is an institution in Trivandrum called IAST. There is a huge opportunity, and this is growing primarily because now humans are trying to look at not staying on Earth alone, just going beyond Earth. For example, India itself is planning to build its own space station by 2035. In next couple of years, you will have humans going around and space station. And by 2040, we are planning to take Indians to moon and bring them back. And then if you look beyond, moon is going to become a stopover point for going to beyond that. So the amount of activity that is going to be there beyond Earth in terms of astronomy, astrophysics, and also understanding the universe, there is a tremendous opportunity. You can look at these website, and they're also providing lot of data which is collected from our satellites of looking at like Aditya program or Astrosat program. They are available in a website in Bangalore called International Space Science Data Center, ISSDC, where data collected over moon, etc. are all available, which can be used for research activities even from a very early point. So opportunities are quite a few.
So if at my age, if we start by writing research papers and attending competitions like international competitions like NASA, SpaceSat, and so on, that Amity gives us opportunities. Sir, will that help us later on for getting into ISRO or other
Yeah,
organizations?
getting into ISRO itself, if you are looking at, see today, what happens in ISRO itself, today we have about 15,000 people is the current strength. And every year, probably about 150 to 200 people retire and new set of people come. So that's a small number for a country like India. But today what is happening, space activity is being done not only within ISRO, but a lot of companies who are, these companies are also now trying to provide solution not only to India alone, but to the globe. And also in the coming days, there'll be many more activities. So not only ISRO, you will have opportunity to work in even as an entrepreneur yourself and build a thing. So, but for that to happen, whatever you are interested in, pursue with rigor and then make a mark, then definitely what you are aiming will happen.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Yes. Can we have one question from that side? And please, children, introduce yourselves. And from which branch, which class are you from? Please start with that.
Good
Thank you.
morning, sir. Sir, I'm Swarnika from class 9, Amity, Noida. I have a question that you have worked in several projects like Chandrayaan 1 and Mangalyaan. So, which project you are the most emotionally attached to and why?
Yeah. Now, if you look at in terms of different challenges, each mission has a different challenge. And then what happens normally is every new project which you are working on is bigger challenge than the previous one. So at that time you feel this is my most, but then very soon when you do the next one, you think it is even greater. But notwithstanding all that, one project which I would definitely tell in terms of emotional satisfaction, if you say, we were building a camera called very high resolution radiometer, which takes images of Earth and results in providing information about cyclones. And that cyclone prediction helps saving lots of lives. So that is one of the thing. But otherwise, in terms of technological challenges, reaching Mars or landing on moon, when we did in 23rd August of 2023, they were much different kinds of experience. So it's very difficult to pinpoint that this was the most important or thing.
Good morning, sir. I'm Shreya Singh from class 11th, Amity Noida. First of all, I'm very grateful for your perspective. And second of all, I would like to cite what you said about humans' decision-making system being similar to a primitive system that robots have, which is a controller and actuator. Now, I would like to, which I agree with, yes, but I would like to ask, is it really necessary to boil that down into a controller and a set of instructions when human innovation stems from thinking out of the box and challenging norms?
Okay, let me give you, you have done any programming at all? Have you written any programs so far?
I'm in the space settlement design competition team for Amity Noida this year.
Okay, fine. So now one thing you need to appreciate is how a system functions depends on who has designed it. And then, for example, I'll give, we have written a program to do a certain task. This program is put in a system. It starts working. It stops on some day. Now your task is to find out what is happening. So obviously, what will you do? You have to do what is called debugging, correct? Now, normally what happens, whatever I know, I have put all that thought in my code, put it in the system and it's functioning. When it stops functioning, if I'm simply asked, look at your code again, and then tell, I'll not be able to make much headway. But if I have put a feature in that program, which tells when it stopped functioning, what was the state of that machine, which it was running. That means machine goes step by step, no? When it stopped, at that point, what was the condition which existed? If you capture that and put in one memory, then when you say you are debugging, you are logging into that memory, take that data, then you know what condition your program was not capable of handling. Now you will build a correction and improve. Suppose you had not built that feature of storing problem at a specific point, no amount of your effort will help you overcome. That means there is a feature built into that. Now you get the point. Whenever a problem occurs, you will log into that, you will see what happened, you will go correct. So now let's come back to your first question. Now, when we are saying, when you think a robot is a very primitive system, actually what we realize is while the actuators, sensors, etc. have some limitation, whether the controller which is running, what instructions are there in that controller makes a difference. See, suppose I tell there is a design driver in that controller which says, mimic what is happening around you and evolve yourself. Now you think of what feature is built into that. It is built a feature which helps it learn by its own experience. For example, today we are sending our robots to Moon or Mars. Obviously, whatever we have built in that has some design limitation. It can work for all the conditions for which we have visualized. So now we don't know the condition there. It might encounter a condition which is very different. So when it encounters such a situation, if I do not know what that situation is, can we improve the robot? So today what we do, when it tells this is the problem, we will upload a patch. That means we change the program, but for those activities for which the actuator is still capable of doing. But if the actuator is not capable, we have to build a new machine and send it with a different actuator. So the design feature, now we started thinking what we should do. Somehow we should build in that a feature which tells you learn from your own experience and solve yourself. That feature is present in the life form right from the early time. It is because of that feature which you learn new things. But many times you don't pay attention to that. But if you realize you have that capability, then using the actuators you have, using the system you have, you can solve any problem and then work for that. So it is that feature which sells learn by your own experience and learn by your own things is what makes your asli intelligence different from anything else.
Thank you so much, sir.
Uh, Good morning, sir. I'm Soham Mukherjee from class 11, Amity 46. I also have a keen interest in aerospace. As we are having so many technological advancements in AI, as you said, what are we supposed to realistically expect in our careers in the future?
See, today in technology, if you see how it goes step by step. See, like I said, initially walking, animals were there, you read. Then you started creating wheels, then started making animal driven vehicles. Then you started steam engine based, then internal combustion, electric, but all of that making it faster. See, today, if you look at in space, we can travel up to 10 to 30 kilometers per second is the speed. So propulsion system, whatever we have got today is limited. So you know at what speed light goes?
3 into 10 to the power of 8
Yeah.
per second.
So now whatever light you are getting from one of the other celestial body is taking light years to reach here. If you want to go to that place, will today's technology of 30 kilometers per second work? So there is a challenge. Nature has shown that I am here, come and get me. So you have challenges are many. So now step by step, like propellant, suppose I have to carry propellant to reach a place. Earlier, for example, tanks in the car or in the like scooter, you had a tank capacity of 3 liters. So your distance covered is limited by the tank capacity. So what you did, one is you thought I'll increase the tank size, but then to start with, you make it heavier. That means your system becomes inefficient. You said I'll store it at some place, so you refill there. So today people are talking about refilling that satellites in space, like refilling aircrafts. So like that, if you start looking, opportunities are tremendous. What is done today, there is one next step and one very different step. So it is for you to visualize what I want to do. There is never a dearth of either the problem, but dearth is there of your desire to consistently work for that problem. You will face hurdles.
Also, sir, just out of interest, I would like to ask, is there any way to see beyond the observable universe? I mean, in the future?
Okay. See, currently, like we said, how does a human being observe? Using the 5 sensors, correct? Now, do you think humans have an ability to use some mechanism beyond these 5 sensors to understand what is happening in world? What do you think?
No, sir.
No. Okay, you have to do a lot of work. See, for example, this mobile is a gadget here. Suppose I ask you a question, what is this mobile doing? In the same surrounding, it is able to pick up specific information meant for you, showcasing to you as an audio and video. That means outside the physical boundary of the object, it is able to exchange information. Now, similarly, do you think if human beings are highly evolved gadgets, there are capabilities of exchanging information beyond these 5 sensors, for which if you put in a specific effort, you can enable that. I'll just leave it as a challenge. I'll not answer. Just think about it and look at what is happening in the world. Are you seeing such examples? You can find out yourself. But this gadget definitely tells you that there are mechanisms where information in the universe can be picked up. What you are putting even in Mars, we can pick up, isn't it?
Thank you, sir.
There was somebody there that side, one girl. Probably will give an opportunity to a girl student. somebody there. Yeah,
Sir, I'm Anya from AI's 43 Gurugram. My question is, so what was your teenage like, and at what point of your life did you decide you wanted to join ISRO or a space-related profession, or was it your career plan from the start?
No, to start with, it was never any intention like that. During our childhood, of course, we had a very different world. Unlike you people, we were in a joint family, large families. I am born to parents. We had 9 siblings together. Not only 9 siblings of our own parents, but our uncles and our aunts. They were all staying together. It was almost like a big, you can say, hostel or a chowdhury. But anyway, that apart. And then because so many people are there, we also had a lot of freedom. We will, as soon as we come back from school, we'll go to play all kinds of games, all sports, both indoor, outdoor, and also participating in all activities of extracurricular, whether it is recitation, competition, or even drama. I remember enacting a drama of 2 to 3 hours enacted by about 13 odd people as a mono acting. So just like that. So but then your question, when did I really start thinking of ISRO as an activity is, when I was in the institute completing my MTech program, it was 1975. April is when India launched Aryabhatta. And at that time in institute, the director of the satellite center gave a talk on Aryabhatta, and then that, that was the one. Then there was an advertisement which came in the paper for a post in Ahmedabad for a research associate. I applied and I got there. But otherwise, it was not that space was the activity which I was going to go ahead, etc. And one other event earlier to that was when I joined the physics honors 1969. Neil Armstrong stepped on the moon and we listened that in the transistor. So it was just only a trigger point. But otherwise, actual decision of joining ISRO happened in the year 1975 and just completed my MTech in physical engineering.
So one more question: that what would be the one code which you would like remember for the rest of your life?
One code?
Which you would like remember for the rest of your
Quote.
life? Quote. Is there any?
Understand yourself. Understand yourself and become aware of yourself.
So
Good-
I am. So I'm a student of Amity Global School, Noida. My name is Vanchaj. I'm from class 9th. So while working for the Mangalyaan mission with such heavy budget restrictions, when countries like US had, I believe, a more than 15 times higher budget than us, what were the main challenges you faced and how you overcame them?
Yeah, this is a very, I'll take it to a very different level of question what you're asking. You see, if you look at what India did itself, if I said, India was a fledgling democracy trying to solve the problems of food, shelter, education. When you take a new technology, obviously your resources are limited. You are very much constrained. In fact, it is those times of constraints which makes you think and work overtime, because you are trying to look at how can I solve the problem what I am facing in spite of whatever limitations are there. So one of the thing obviously we have is we can work 24 hours. So all the people can work more time. Same thing, why cost becomes more elsewhere is in a well-settled society, a person is not allowed to work more than 8 hours. In fact, many of those nations have rules which says you should not work more than this many hours a week, etc. Why? Because they can afford to do that. So if 24 hours work, 3 people have to work, and then between them they have to communicate that what work is done next level. He has to tell where he stopped. Then there is some more time which gets lost in writing down and the next fellow reading. So time goes. So both that is one in terms of cost reduction. But other thing is when you are challenged, you build your capability. Probably you would have heard of the term called leapfrogging. See, suppose you are asked to do a high jump. How do? You take some distance build a momentum by running. When you build that momentum is what helps you to take off to a height. Now, what if that much distance running space is also not available to you? You are supposed to crouch, conserve all your energy, and in one go for that height. That is what a frog does. So that's why the leapfrogging technology is taught. What Vikram Sarabhai showed us was this method. In spite of your limitations, you make use of what is accessible to you and use that for solving the problem you are facing. So even in Mangalyaan, we were trying to go almost, see, till that time, we had gone to 36,000 kilometers only. Chandrayaan 1 was already 3 lakh kilometers. Mangalyaan is almost 400 million kilometers. So you had to build something using what you had already realized. So we found methods which technically was possible, but not attempted by others because they could afford. So we could not afford. So we went step by step. See, like you have only a Suega. So, but you have to compete against a Royal Enfield or Kawasaki, etc. So what do? You make use of what you have and achieve. That's where the hare and tortoise probably you can remember. So you stick to what you are capable of doing, persistently do, you will reach.
Good morning, sir. Sir, I am from Amity International School, Mayur Vihar. So my question would be like, what we can do now for the India space program?
Like I said, India starting from the early time independence, now it has reached the fourth largest economy. So what happened to India during the colonization period? Why it happened? Because you let others to dominate you. Now in future, do you think you want India to be dominated by others? What do you think?
Yes, sir, definitely.
Them to be dominated or not dominated?
Not dominated, like
Yeah.
we should dominate.
Yeah. No, you need not dominate, but at least you should not let others dominate you. Correct? So if you do not want others to dominate you, what should you do? You should be comparable at skills and competence levels. See, today, why humans are trying to go beyond Earth? Because space is the fourth frontier. That means space is being used to manipulate what is happening on Earth and then control. So like earlier I said, people, the tribal people, they were initially might is right. Those who were more physically strong were dominating. Then one group found out how they can convert sticks into bow and arrow. That group dominated. Then another group came out with something else. So today humans are trying to find out how we can go to space. So this is a technology. Similarly, AI is becoming another technology. That means in all areas, you should be comparable or at least equal. Then nobody can dominate you. You need not dominate them, but at least you should not let others dominate. That is a lesson we have learned in thousands of years of external rule. Otherwise, if you see this land, by virtue of its culture, by virtue of its thought processes, had shown to the world how human life depends on all other life forms. Human life for its sustenance needs to respect nature. Respecting nature and respecting other life forms is an essentiality for sustaining life on earth. But then today's world doesn't recognize that. It thinks human beings are the topmost. We can do anything we want, but then it will only get into like apne pav mein kuladi marne ka hai.
Thank you, sir.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, sir. I am Kabir Chabra from Amity, Vasundhara Sector 1. So I want to know that how discovering space can bring changes in our lives.
Okay. See, one thing is you want to see what is happening. So when you want to see larger and larger areas, what do? You climb on top of a tree, mountain, tower. As you keep growing higher and higher, your area of observation becomes larger. So if you want to understand what is happening on Earth globally, can you remain within within this room and see what is happening in entire Delhi? Can you see what is happening in entire India?
No, sir.
So obviously you have to go beyond. So space is one first thing is like that. So the day humans got this ability to go beyond Earth, they could understand what is happening over the entire Earth. For example, weather monitoring was a possibility because you could look at what is happening over the entire Earth. So obviously space is the way. And also if you see, Earth is one small item in the solar system. And our solar system is one small item in our galaxy. Our galaxy is one small item in, like that if you go in this universe, you are a tiny, tiny speck. But still, you are capable of understanding so many things. So space is important because of that.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, go ahead. You can ask. Yeah, you're audible. So.
Competition. Hello. Okay. So in our competition, we have this agenda for Mars settlement. So how can we make Mars settlement solutions more efficient and applicable for establishing another community over there, just like we have on Earth by the year 2047?
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, that is a challenge. See, obviously, if you look at what is being done even on Earth itself, when we want to live safely at some other places, etc. One is you need to find out what is the environment that is there. And then based on that, you can make a system which can sustain the life of the individual there. And then beyond all that, like I was trying to point out, you have to build mechanisms in that system which is capable of understanding what is happening around and solve its problem. These are all, of course, very difficult situations because what you can do is limited by your knowledge of today. What you know only you can build into anything you do. But beyond that, if you want, you have to build a feature in that which can learn by itself. That is what we are trying to do in AI. So all these are never ending questions, but answers happen step by step. You will make one step, and then those who attempt to bring it into reality face some more problems, they'll go next step. So nobody can make a perfect 100% foolproof solution in one go. So even human evolution itself, if you see on planet Earth, it has been taking so many generations to reach where you are now. So what is the best thing you should do? The best thing you should do is, based on your ability to acquire knowledge and skills, put all that into thought process and visualize something. And then there'll be some people who will start implementing it. While implementing, they'll find more problems. They'll overcome that. It'll go ahead like that. The only method is bring into practice what you want to do. Waiting for complete solution is never a solution, because there is no perfect solution in this world. Everything requires constant evolution.
Thank you. I'm sorry, children, there are, sir, I think you'll have to give again some more time because there are a number of questions which are still there with children. But before that, sir said that this will be the last question, but we are going to have informal question answer session a little later if you permit. But since Dr. Amita Chauhan, our chairperson, is with us right from the beginning, and I was just telling chairperson ma'am that please speak to our children, and she's ready. I'm so grateful to ma'am. She said, "मैं बिल्कुल छोड़ ही नहीं पाया." She was listening to you, sir, right from the beginning, and she said it's so interesting that I am finding it difficult to leave also. But I'll request respected chairperson to say a few words to motivate our students. Thank you, chairperson ma'am. Thank you.
I want to see sir. No, कहते I was seeing from the very beginning, sir. Can I see him? No, okay, yeah. Sir, I'm Dr. Kiran Kumarji. I'm so honored, so happy to see you and that you are interacting with our children. I think so. It could not have been better chance than this. That the children are hearing directly from the ISRO chairman, who the children. I was always expecting, I was trying to meet you, but it was not possible. It is totally your mistake, sir. You are speaking so good. So that's why I was unable to leave my home and reach to the school. I told my principal, so interesting, sir has to come again. I told her, sir has to come again and talk to our children. Why? Because I'm saying this, sir, because we have got 12 universities in India itself, and all of have the space department, and our space department are very huge in our university. Dr. Prasad, you must have heard Dr. Prasad. He is heading the space center in Amity University in Noida, and our IIT Mumbai University is also doing very good in space. And especially when I talk about my school, sir, we have got the children who are sitting here in the audience. They are preparing themselves for the NASA competition to have the space settlement in on the moon, and they did it on the children have done on the Mars also, and they have won 4 time international awards that my principal have told you. Sir, we have got Amity Children Science Foundation with Dr. Lalit, our very much Dr. Lalit, he is here only. So he is heading this Amity Children Science Foundation, and we have got 160 patents in the school and copyrights. तो जो आपके इतने बैठे हुए हैं बच्चे, one of them must be, they must be having the patents and the copyrights. Our
It's
children
really
are,
great to know the activities going on here.
yes,
Very
yes,
impressive. We should compliment you and congratulate you for what you have done.
and thank you so much. Thank you. And the most important thing, our mission is, and our founder president mission is, we inculcate in the habit of our children to do research, to have knowledge. If you have knowledge and you are able to do, nobody in the world can stand in front of us. That is our mission, to train our children so that we can give good children to the society that who work for the country. So सर इस मिशन को हम लेके चल रहे हैं, और आपका आज you are here today, and I am 100% sure that we are going to fulfill our mission, our founder's mission, my mission, and the mission of our Prime Minister, to make India a Viksit Bharat by 2047. कहते, और आपके जब स्पीच में बोला, when you said nobody will come and help to make India a Viksit Bharat or superpower, nobody will come. We have to work ourselves. So हम बहुत सालों से ये बोल रहे हैं. We're talking to our children from since many years, 2099 से बोल रहे हैं कि nobody is going to come to help India to make it a Viksit Bharat. It is only the children who are sitting here.
Yeah.
When they will be in 2047, they will be 18 or 19 or 20 or 30 years. So they are going to make this country a superpower or a Viksit Bharat. कहते हैं our Prime Minister's vision and our founder mission. So sir, आप आए तो कहते हैं I'm really today I'm very excited for my children.
Thank you very much. I'll be more than happy to visit.
Yes, maybe one of them become a ISRO chairman.
Yeah, wish them all the very best.
Yes, definitely. Our children have that spirit. कहते हैं मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगा. Definitely, we are going to meet you, sir.
Definitely.
We are
Thank you very much.
definitely we are going
And
to.
thanks for also supporting MMGIS. Thank you.
Yes, and आपको जो है दूसरा, maybe I'm asking too much from you. कहते हैं, if it is possible, I will ask Lalit if sir can be the patron of our Amity Children Foundation. I will ask Lalit. And
Yeah,
so
sure.
it will make a great power to the children because Amity children are very different. They are
Yeah.
brought up in a very different way. Thank you, sir.
Thank
Thank you very much कहते हैं, for coming and कहते हैं, talking to our children. It is our great honor. It is our happiness. You cannot. आप मेरी शक्ल से देख सकते हैं. I am so happy today.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you for being so kind. Thank you.
Okay, sir. See you again. You are in Delhi, sir. You live in Delhi.
No, I live in Bangalore.
You live in Bangalore.
Yeah.
Okay. Sir, we have got Amity University in Bangalore.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
Like, in fact, Amity
definitely.
University, I have that. Probably I also got a doctorate from them.
I think so. From the ISRO chairman, all the ISRO chairman has been.
Yeah, correct.
They were with us. We have such a honor. We have such a honor. It's blessed. Amity schools and Amity universities are blessed with the ISRO chairmen.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
Sir, children, a very big clap to sir. You are so lucky that you are
Yeah.
interacting. You are interacting with the ISRO chairman. No, a big clap. Every child has to clap. Every child. Yes, I want to see the energy in you. You have to show
Thank
the energy
you.
to sir.
Thank you, children. Thank you, respected chairperson, ma'am, for giving this platform where we can talk to ISRO chairman and we can
Yes.
clear our doubts. So this
Yes,
opportunity children
yes.
will get
बहुत
only
बहुत lucky
in
we are.
Amity because of you, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you
Sir,
so
coming
much.
to school. Sir, coming to school is a great energy.
Yes, yes. Thank you, chairperson, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir, and thank you everyone for being a part of this memorable occasion.
We request Vineet Goenka, sir, if you could also just come and address the audience.
So with your permission, I'll just take 2 minutes. Honorable Dr. Chauhan, I would like to thank you, if you're listening to me, that on a single phone call, you allowed us to visit all the METs. Dr. Lalit, Principal Director, ma'am, Radha, ma'am, because you were my first contact here and all the children's. While I've been asked to speak to you about the program MMGIS, but I thought I should tell you about one shlok which changed my life, and if that helps you to understand where I come from. So when we were working and I was reporting to General D.B. Shekatkar, he told us that one shloka, and my pronunciation may not be appropriate because I'm not a Sanskrit person, but if it makes sense to you, Ashwaneva Gajaneva Siha Neva Chaneva Ajat Putra Balidata Devo Durbal Ghataka. And I asked him, General Sahab, what does it mean? And he said, Ashwaneva, have you ever seen a horse being sacrificed on the altar of a god? किसी भी रिलीजन में, किसी भी देश में, किसी भी प्रदेश में कभी घोड़े की बलि दी जाती है क्या? तो आंसर है नहीं, बिकॉज वो बड़ा काम का होता है. तो काम का जो जानवर होता है उसकी कभी बलि दी नहीं जाती है. द सेकेंड लाइन ऑफ द श्लोका इज गजनेव. गज इज एलिफेंट. Have you ever heard any civilization, any religion, any community or any part of the world where elephants are being sacrificed on the altar of the god? Answer is no. You can't. It's a big one, right? You can't cut this. You may take the revenge. And the third one is Siha Nevachaneva. Now, predators like lion, tiger, panthers, you can't think about sacrificing them. They will kill you off, right? Right or wrong? General Shekatkar told me that to pay attention to the second last line of the shloka, which was Ajat Putra Balidata. Ajat is Bakra. You would have heard that Bakre ki maa kab tak khair manayegi, right? So he said that, quote, the weak, and the last line of the shloka is very, very important. Devo Durbal Ghataka. Even God will not forgive you if you are weak and the meek. See, the weak animal is being sacrificed on the altar of the God. So if you want to survive as a God, as a country, if you want to survive as a civilization, you have to be strong, not to be sacrificed by the powerfuls, right? And you can only become powerful because when you do 360-degree development, one among them would be programs like space programs. And I would like to thank Dr. Chauhan, Principal Director Ma'am, all your faculties, Dr. Lalit, and that. I also like to recognize presence of Dr. Amina Wali Ma'am, Dr. Mrinal Naik, who have all the way come from Nagpur to meet us, and they have been with us, and both of them are here. My colleague Kriti is there. Now, quickly about the program, it's a very simple thing. One of the student asked that resources, the white shirt kid, I forgot his name, when he said that there are limited funds which were there to make up. So we understood this part that the resources are very limited. Your parents are already paying fees, travel costs, and all these things are very high. So this program is absolutely free of cost. MMGIS does not have a single penny cost. You can't buy even books in this. So I always listen to Kriti. She keeps telling that even if you want to buy books, there are no books because you have to study only from the videos which are provided by the team of MMGIS. So nobody can compete by being uneven by buying some books or tuition. Just watch that videos. 5 or 6 videos are there, and that you can watch it at your home, in your office, in your school, while you're traveling in the school bus. That too at your own leisure. And the best part about this program is this is a democratized program. So there is no botheration of date of exam. You can decide which date you want to give the exam. You can decide the time of the exam and give the exam from your house, your school, your laboratories. Ma'am, I will request one thing. There is a very small school. The children are very fortunate. When I entered this premises, I told Kiran sir that I envy, had I been a child of this age now, and I would have got a chance to study here because the infrastructure which you have, the teachers which you have, we never had that kind of thing. But I like to share you one thing that I went to a school in Lucknow, very minimalistic school, and their teacher did an excellent thing. She showed that videos in the class to the students. The queries were answered by the geography teacher, the physics teacher. And what happened is that school participated. And I'm very happy that 4 of that kids got selected and they visited the ISTRAC command center where sir showed us all the operations. They could actually see the operations there. They could actually visit the center there. They were going through what all the others could do without having resources. And you are very fortunate. Your parents have put you here. You are very fortunate. You have teachers and principals like her. A personal interest in all these kind of activities. I would request you to participate in the program. Just fill up that form. Radha ma'am has the form. Otherwise, I'll send that soft form. Fill it up. 5 questions. The day you want to give the exam, give the exam. You will clear the stages. There are a couple of stages, stage 1, stage 2. Then you get a chance to understand how to file IPRs and how to file patents. I'm very amused that you have filed so many patents already. What we do is, one of the part of the program is where we train the kids how to file the patent. And also someday I will try and get Dr. Unnat Pandit, who is the Comptroller General of patents in India. We'll request him if he can come and spend some time with your kids. That also can be done. In this particular program, you get chance to talk to various people. Like, for example, Lieutenant General Vinod Khandare, Director General of Defense Intelligence Agency. You will get a chance to interact with people from NIC, Nectar, remote sensing. And all these people would talk to you online, so your parents does not have to spend a single penny on traveling or anything like that. Yesterday, a couple of students got a chance to visit India Metallurgy Lab, which is there in Lodi Road. Now, all these opportunities come with this program. I once again thank Dr. Amita Chauhan for.
अरे डॉक्टर विनीत जी आई एम कहते
आपको
हैं
प्रणाम करता हूँ मैं यहाँ से।
हाँ प्रणाम आपको। आप ही विनीत गोयनका जी, मैं आपका इतना नाम सुनती हूँ बट आई हैव नेवर सीन यू, नेवर मेट यू। आई एम रनिंग अ प्रोग्राम इन माय स्कूल बट आई एम रियली हैप्पी टू सी यू। और आपका जो श्लोक है, आई एम गोइंग टू यूज योर श्लोक। बहुत बढ़िया श्लोक है आपने दिया संस्कृत।
तो मैम, मैं आपको फिर से प्रणाम करता हूँ कि आपने केवल एक फोन कॉल के पर पूरा यूनिवर्सिटी खोल दिया हमारे लिए, पूरी स्कूल।
नहीं नहीं,
नेवर फॉरगेट योर कंट्रीब्यूशन टू दिस प्रोग्राम मैम।
नहीं, आपको देखिए ना, हम जहाँ पर भी बच्चे के लिए बेनिफिट होगा तो वो सारे द्वार खुले हुए हैं। हाँ, तो वी सी अवर चाइल्ड, हाउ द चाइल्ड कैन बी बेनिफिटेड टू वर्क फॉर दिस कंट्री। तो वो आप लेके आए किरण कुमार जी को, आई एम सो हैप्पी। तो आपका भी, मुझे आपके भी दर्शन हो गए। Thank
so,
you.
Once again, pranam to Dr. Chauhan, Principal Ma'am. I'm really blessed that I could speak in front of you. Thank you everybody. Bharat Mata ki jai.
हाँ, और कहते हैं वी आर गोइंग टू डू योर एग्जाम्स। विनीत जी, हम लोग आपके जो एग्जाम्स वगैरह हैं, अभी तो एक लड़की हमारी पुष्प विहार से सेलेक्ट हुई है, A child has been selected from Pushpihar School, Noida, our Delhi school. वहाँ से
Madam,
आपका
yesterday I heard the kid there, and I told Dr. Lalit that the girl who spoke from there, she had excellent questions. And believe me, the question which she had asked was one of the best questions been asked by all the 21 students there. So I compliment her teachers, her parents, and you all for that. And I was just talking to the director principal madam here that all the kids who have asked question today here, we will send them a certificate signed by Honorable Kiran Kumarji that they have asked question to all the kids. I'll do that personally. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, sir, for your esteemed guidance and inspiring words.
Okay, we'll do school wise. Don't worry. Rest all you can sit down. All of you sit down, please.
So if you see that if you are exploring how you can actually determine how you respond to any situation. अगर किसी ने आपसे कुछ क्वेश्चन पूछा, how do you think you are answering that? Yeah, correct. That means something you have stored already. When you heard the input, your controller did an AI ML search in that memory. I'm just giving you an example. So it found some answer. So it picked up, then gave instructions to your voice generating and delivered it. Suppose you think like that. That means any action you do, you take input. For that input, your controller does a task of finding answer. How do you find answer? By searching. So where does it search? One possible place is where up to now you have stored information. So right from the time you entered this world till now, you are storing some information there. What you have learned, what you have got, etc., etc. So then it tries to find, if something is there, it will pick up and answer. If nothing is there, it will now decide, okay, I have to learn this new, isn't it? So what I was trying to tell is understanding your own self, how it operates, helps you in growing further. See, suppose you want to climb Mount Everest today. Are you ready? So what is that controller telling? You told your controller, I want to climb Mount Everest. It said, no, you are not yet ready for that. But you say, no, I want to do it. Then it will take you to base station. You will acclimatize for some time. That means you will keep going step by step and you keep on insisting, I want to do it, it will achieve that. Otherwise, what happens? You will forget that and move on with something else. So that's why I was asking about cycling and all that. You have learned cycling? You have learned. Okay, if you have learned cycling, before you actually did cycling, how easy was it? Very hard. But then after you learned cycling, even as you are cycling, you are thinking about if I go home today, what food is available or which friend I'll meet, like that, no? That means you are able to think of many other activities. You are not conscious of cycling. Your system is doing like an autopilot, isn't it? That means it has become so perfect. It took sensory inputs. It knew when to turn the handle right, left, when to pedal faster, when to apply brakes, all happening without you putting any effort, correct? So that whole thing had become an autopilot like that. So anything you want to achieve by practice, suppose music, you are into any music? No? How about you? Music? Sing. So how much practice you have to do for singing? Okay. So basically the same point that if you want to do something, you have to persevere. Yeah.
Sir, I had a question that when planets are falling, why do they start rotating on their axis? I couldn't get an answer for that.
Yeah, this is the point. See, when you don't get an answer for the question you are finding, keep asking. Anyway, I'm not the right person to ask that question because I'm not into the actual physics of how stars are forming, etc. Our task is observation. Build different types of sensors which can give you observation. Then those who are putting into models, they will determine how this formation happens, how stars form, how stars die, etc., etc., how black holes form. It is astrophysics, astrochemistry, and then those people are trying to do model. So my suggestion to you is keep asking questions. If nobody answers, you find the answer. That is the way to go about, because that helps you not only in understanding, but you should not think they did not answer. This is not a question worth continuing. Yeah. Now, as my message to you is, you need to understand yourself. You have potential. You do not spend any time in comprehending yourself, how your system is operating. According to what I'm telling is you are a robot, but you don't spend any time. For example, I give you a box, a gadget, electronic gadget as a gift to you. You open the box. First thing normally you do in any new gadget box is there is a user's manual, correct? So now I've removed that user's manual and given you. After a few months, I ask you a question. Can you tell me whether you are capable of using this gadget, all its features with 100% efficiency? What will your answer be? Maybe, correct? Not definite, emphatic yes. Why? Because unless you know some things, what you have made your trial and error will reach up to some point. So is that the problem with ourselves? We have not understood ourselves.
You, what makes ISRO as an organization more unique as compared to like NASA or JAXA?
No, this is where what I tried to tell you was that only when ISRO started, what was Sarabhai's thought process? He was looking at for a fledgling democracy, which is 10 years after hundreds of years of external rule, a country which is trying to stand up on its own foot, building food, education, security, all. Yeah. For such a thing, what is it that we can do with this technology? So his aim was making use of this new disruptive technology and provide solutions. So what ISRO is doing all the time is, how can we use space technology for solving problems for India? One is broadcasting, communication, weather monitoring, where to drill bore wells, how the crop, what crop is going to come, who is on our neighbor, everything. Yeah, weather prediction, everything. So it's like that. So that is the key thing which has made a difference, because people working there are looking at how can we solve our country's problem using a new technology, which you have to build yourself. You send one email to me, I'll send you signed autograph, because if I start now, I have to spend a lot of time. Kiran at ISRO. No, you send an email. Kiran at isro.gov.in. You will get a nicely autographed this thing.
Space Application Center at ISRO. Were there any engineering beliefs that you had that were later debunked, like that they were incomplete or wrong?
Oh, any engineering belief. No, this is again another fundamental issue you have to see. When do you start believing something? Say, do you believe you have a hand? Or you know you have a hand? So you don't have to believe what you know, isn't it? That means when you do not know something, you might resort to believing. So now when you do not know something, any option, anything is possible. Either if whether whatever you say you believe, it could be true, it need not be true. When you start attempting to find out, you will find an answer. So is belief a good thing or not a good thing? Think about it. See, because all that I'm trying to tell you is the need for believing comes when you are not aware of it. When you know something, you don't have to. What you do not know, you have to find out. So depending on what path you follow, you might reach there faster or slower. But then if you believe something, your answer might be different also. Once I start, I'll have to give to you. You send this mail. Children. Your ability to predict depends on two things: the model you have and what inputs you can give to the model. Okay. Now, that means in a system, all the variables which affect the output as a system, if you know all the inputs, let's say 10 of them, then each one of them, you make an observation with the required precision. Then you have a data which tells if this is the value, this is the outcome. Then you will build a model whose prediction efficiency is very high. That means efficiency of the model depends on number of variables which it's taking and your ability to give the correct input. Now, suppose you are measuring a parameter which is uncertain. Let's say you have measured length with a very poor device. It is 10 millimeter plus minus 3 millimeters, let's say. Now, what input you will give for the measurement? It will be anything from 7 to 13. So if you give 7, when the value was 10, what will happen to your prediction? So it is as simple as that. But the problem is coming up with right set of parameters for observing and coming up with a very efficient model. And then for that model, giving the correct input at that point. Yeah, how to stay motivated is yeah, that's where two things is you have to decide your priority. See, you have interest in so many things, but if you are able to decide what is the higher topmost priority, then give as much attention to that. All other things you have to suppress. First is motivation in terms of your prioritization, you have to decide. Then with that prioritization, you start working. But again, one thing you have to remember, outcome is never assured because you are trying to achieve something for which you are not prepared today. Even the knowledge that you are not prepared will come to know only when that result comes. So you should never, that's where you should be prepared for a lot of unsuccessful attempts. Because if you start thinking, I'll get it very first time correct, then you will feel disappointed. But if you start thinking, it may or may not come out correct. When if it does not come out correct, what improvement I have to do? If I keep doing like that, you will get into the habit of not getting disappointed with immediate result, but then keep pushing further. So like I said, today, if you want to achieve something with certainty, you can do it within your current limitations. See, for example, weightlifters, they know they can lift 100 kilograms. But then will they stop there? They want to add some more and try. But then they are not assured of success, but they still want to try.
Setback in life, or would you change it by any chance? Like the setback, आप उसको change करोगे?
नहीं, अभी तक तो ऐसा नहीं हुआ है. So whatever setbacks are there have helped us understand that problem and move ahead.
कोई भी होता है, उसको क्या नहीं दे.
नहीं नहीं, उसके बारे में अगर सोचते जाएंगे तो बहुत एक बार बात कर सकते हैं. ड्रीम क्या है, ड्रीम कैसे करते हैं, how is your system generates that, we will talk about it definitely. No, what we were doing is we were not worried too much about what ranking we get. Whatever we do, we try to do to the best of our ability. That means it is not always that I should become number one, etc., first, etc. Whatever I'm doing, try to do as well as possible.
बट फिर अगर जब आप इंडिया में तो आपको खुद ही कॉम्पिटिटिव एग्जाम्स है जैसे एनएससीडीएस है आईओपी है नीट है तो लाइक व्हाट डू यू थिंक कि हम लोग को इंडिया में रह के कॉलेजेस में रहना चाहिए या फिर बाहर के हार्वर्ड में.
नहीं, इसमें जैसे हम कह रहे थे, फाइनली एट द एंड ऑफ इट, व्हाट इज योर ऑब्जेक्टिव? You do whatever. If you want to go to Harvard and study, what is your objective? Your objective is to enhance your own capability and elevate. Fine, nothing wrong with that. But if you are also thinking what I should do is not only for me, but for my group, my society, my country, then your thought process will be different. See, whether you want to remain as an individual and achieve success and achieve greater and greater heights and not worried about rest of the thing, nothing wrong with that. You have to make the choice. So if you make the choice, whatever is there, I want to go, then find the best place to do that. If Harvard is the best place, go there. If somewhere else is the best place, do that. But if you think, what is the role of actually as a student means the very name, what does it say? Learning. So at this point of time, you should maximize your learning. Yeah.
You mail the questions to me. I'll send you, sir.
Excuse me, sir.
That's the challenge. That's the challenge.
How remain motivated even if you have your ideas and
Yeah.
when you are getting failure.
One, I told everybody, kiran@isro.gov.in, send an email. I'll send you an autograph.
You mail the question.